Another item up for a vote next month could increase the amount of accessible funding for early childhood and public education. Constitutional Amendment 1, located on the back of your ballot, would increase the amount of money taken out of the Permanent Education Fund, also known as the Land Grant Permanent Fund. Now, 2 weeks ago, we brought you a perspective from educators and parents on this issue. They all say a yes vote is a vote for our children's future. But some lawmakers question whether taking out extra money right now is prudent or even necessary. This week, senior producer Lou DiVizio catches up with State Senator Bill Scherrer to understand why he thinks keeping that money where it is makes the most sense right now.
Now, Senator, you are publicly opposed to this constitutional amendment. Can you explain your position?
So the basic problem is that we already put the money into an early childhood trust fund. So the way we built this as a legislature a couple of years ago, we took the excess oil and gas revenue, so above and beyond what we normally get, and we funneled it into this early childhood trust fund. So it started out with about $300 million. Next year, it's going to be $2 billion. The year after that, it's going to be $4.8 billion based on the estimated revenue that we're going to get from oil and gas. Ultimately, it ends up close to $9 billion. And if you simply take the interest off of that, you more than get the $250 million that this constitutional amendment would take out of the Land Grant Permanent Fund. So there's no point in taking it out. The money is already there. It's already in a trust fund that was built. It's growing. It's going to continue to grow until it gets to about $9 billion. And so there's no point in doing harm to the trust fund. I mean, to the permanent fund. The permanent fund was established in 1910, but the real reason for it was to make sure that we had money for public schools, they call them common schools in 1910, to fund the schools forever after the fund got big enough. Prudent investment says that you should not take out more than 5%. We're at 5%. So when you add that other 1.5%, 1.25%, you are now risking depleting the core of that fund. People will say, oh no, it grows at 11%. Well, it grew at 11% when the stock market was strong. It's losing money today. And, there'll be ups and downs. But the point is that this should grow. We should use the power of compound interest to make this fund bigger and bigger and bigger until it completely funds education. All we have to do is make sure we don't, deplete that fund. And the interest off of that fund then takes care of the early childhood funding that we agree we need. I'm not arguing that point. I'm arguing that the money's already there.
If the money's already there, why not make it accessible? You want to save it over the long haul so that in 5 to 10 years we are safe with the amount of money that we have. Is that correct?
So if we go back to 2003, we moved what we take out of that Land Grant Permanent Fund from 4.7% to 5.8. The whole purpose of that was to fund education because we were 48th or 49th in education and we needed to fix it now, and we have the money now and we better do it now. It's a once in a lifetime thing now. And so we took out extra money. And what did it do for us? Well, it did two things. One, it left us at 48 or 49th in education. It did nothing because we didn't have a plan. The whole plan was more money, not what are you going to do with the money. The second thing that it did is today we would have about $200 million extra dollars a year coming out of that based on the growth of the fund, which would have funded early childhood. So we accomplished nothing on one end and we harmed ourselves on the other by eliminating that $200 million. And that's all because of the power of compound interest. So, once you take that money out, there's no compounding. So it's got to be there to compound. And once you compound it, you have more. It's just that simple.
2 weeks ago on New Mexico in Focus, I spoke with Wilhelmina Yazzie. She's the lead plaintiff in the Yazzie Martinez lawsuit, and we talked about the proposed amendment. She says the extra money is key in reaching the goals set in that ruling. how would you propose reaching those goals, not just the financial ones, but the institutional changes without using the extra money that's included in this amendment?
Well, again, we've been 48th or 49th or 50th now in education for a long time. And what we've done is we've poured more and more and more money into education with zero results. I don't see a plan, a solid plan for the early childhood money that we have today. We're already spending money on that, about $40 million right now, but we don't have the capacity to do any more than that. It's just, we don't know what to do with it. We don't have the systems, we don't have the staff, but $40 million is a start. Next year, it's going to be about $120 million that will be usable without the land grant permanent fund money, based on the oil and gas money that we put into the early childhood trust fund. So we don't need to take any more out of there. It's going to grow. The trust fund is going to grow. And so in this particular case, it gives us time to build the plan, to build the infrastructure, to build the capacity, because the way the money is going to come in, and without harming what's going to happen in the future.
Would you like to see a briefing from PED with more specifics? You mentioned they mentioned goals, but not an actual plan to reach those goals. Is that all something that is on PED to provide to legislators, to provide to the public, so that we know how this money would be used?
Absolutely. That's what we need. So we get briefings from PED all the time. And I do think that Dr. Steinhaus is doing a good job. He's trying, he's really involved. I think we've had a series of superintendents that aren't doing this, cabinet secretaries that aren't, they're all about the goals and saying really cool things, but it's not about saying anything, it's about doing something. So, an intention is not a result, as some people are saying. And so we need to see results. What are you doing?